So as I said, we're going to talk about longevity risk. How long will your retirement savings last? Now, longevity risk, fairly simple question. What is it? Well, this is a risk of living too long, risk of outliving your money, risk of not having enough money in retirement due to living too long, right? We put all of that together. Now, this is the number one risk in our opinion for those that are entering or in retirement. Number one risk. Now, there is a lot of risks that you can have in retirement, but when you look at the number one risk, why is longevity risk? The risk of living too long, not having enough money to live on, combination of those things. Why is this the number one risk? Because longevity risk, outside of all the other risks, is a risk multiplier of all the other risks. I'm going to explain that because the longer you live, the more likely it is that you're going to encounter all of these other risks, right? We say market risk. Well, the longer you live, if you've got some of your retirement savings and some of your future income tied into the market, like TSP, for example, the longer you live, the more likely you are to see the market downturns, the big market fluctuations. On average, there's a market correction, say every 7 years. And you can check me on that, but about every 7 years, there's a market correction on average. The longer you live, the more likely you are to see numerous market corrections over time, unless you've set yourself up in a safe way. We've got other topics and other episodes where we've discussed safety and security in retirement, but market risk. Again, the longer you live, the more likely you are to see these major market fluctuations or market corrections. Sequence of returns risk. Now, this has to do with also withdrawing money while you're in an investment or some sort of way that you are tied to the market. So let's say again, TSP, your money's in TSP, and it's still invested in the funds, it's still invested in the market, it's still invested in things that have some risk associated with it, the funds that have risk associated with it. And now you have to withdraw money in retirement, right? We talked about how long will your savings last if you're withdrawing money to supplement income in retirement and you're still at risk in the market. Well, what happens when the market goes down? In a year when there's a correction, we just mentioned, longevity, the longer you live in retirement, the more likely you are to see a correction. Well, now you're taking money out of your retirement savings that's invested in the market that just corrected. So you've got a double whammy. You saw the market go down and you withdrew money. Now your money's not going to last as long. Not only is it just are you decreasing your account because the withdrawal you took, but now you got a double whammy because the market went down. And now you've got to go above and beyond to just try to get back to normal. So sequence of returns risk, the longer you live, the more likely this is going to affect you. Long-term care risk, the longer you live, the more likely you're going to have some sort of long-term care type scenario where you're going to need additional care. You're going to need additional savings that's there in order to pay for these needs, right? If you need to go into a facility or assisted care, have somebody come take care of you at your home. The longer you live, longevity is going to have an effect on whether or not you have a long-term care need. Withdrawal rate risk. Same type of thing with sequence of returns, but if you're taking out, even if you've got a fixed account, right? You've got money that's in a safe type account. And unfortunately, if you're in something that's super safe, the chances are the withdrawal rate that you're taking is going to be greater than that rate of return you're getting, right? If it's in a checking or savings account or even some sort of fixed account, chances are your withdrawal rate is going to be higher. So your account is going to go down. Well, the longer that you live, that money can run out. It's not guaranteed to last forever. And a lot of times next thing we're going to talk about inflation, your withdrawal rate is going to have to go up over time. And that leads to inflation risk. The longer you live, the more likely you're going to see that your dollars for today are not going to be worth as much tomorrow. So we consistently do have inflation. We just went through some crazy days of inflation over the past couple of years, but just understand that the longer you live, longevity is going to increase your chance of seeing inflation in your lifetime, and your dollars aren't going to go as far. So again, longevity factors into that. What about taxation risk? You ask anybody today, do you think taxes are going to go up or down? This is not my opinion. This is people that I've talked to when it comes to just a question about taxation. Which way or which direction do you think taxes are going to go? Up, down, or stay the same in the future? Up, down, or stay the same? Now, majority of people that I've talked to said taxes are going to go up. A few have said they're going to stay the same, and I have not seen anybody tell me that taxes are going to go down in the future. So just understand, the majority of people are thinking taxes are going to go up. Well, the longer you live, the more that you're going to get hit by taxes in retirement. And that's something that you have to plan for. So longevity, as I said, living too long, the prospect of outliving your money, not having enough. The question I asked at the beginning, how long will your retirement savings last? The longer you live, the more you need that nest egg or that amount to last for. And the longer you live, the more likely you are to bring these other risks into consideration or be affected by these other risks. So how do we prepare for that? We're going to get into that today and figure out how we can prevent longevity risk.